matter where your air pressure gauges are, you can't say if they're full. You got to pump it down about 100 pounds. Tell the examiner I'm going to fill my tanks back up because they're going to hear the governor cut out. I'm watching my gauges come back up, so I know my gauges work. That's part of the test. Gauges are working. I see them coming up. I'm listed for the governor cutout. At 140 pounds, I just heard it. You got to listen on this one. It'll make much noise. But 140 pounds is telling me my tanks are full. So that's the first part of your air brake test. The gauges work, the tanks are full, and I know it's at 140. I'm turning my engine off to kill the compressor. I'm turning my key on back on to activate the alarms. I'm going to put light pressure on the brakes so I don't roll away. I'm releasing my brake. I'm applying firm pressure. I'm letting my gauges stabilize. Once my gauges stabilize, I'm starting my 1 minute. Right now, I'm looking for no more than 3 pounds of loss in the next 60 seconds. I started it 15 seconds after. "30 seconds in, I update the examiner, I've lost no air." It's now been 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and let it go a few seconds past to make sure it held it for 1 full minute. If you got a timing device examiner, y'all can watch it together. Share the same timing device is cool. If you don't, if you do like this, it'll start their own timer. We lost no air, so we just passed the second part of the air brake test. Now we're going to pump the air off. The truck's got to warn me when it's getting low on air. Whoa, at about 60 pounds, I've got 2 lights, a buzzer, and a text message telling me I'm getting low on air. This truck is warning me I'm low on air. That's the third part of the air brake test. Now I've got to pump it down. This parking brake has got it set. Bingo. It just popped out at 25 pounds. The parking brake set itself. So we just passed our air brake test. Those are the 4 steps that I just did. We're going to start it back up. Four steps to recap to make sure your gauges work and you know when the tanks are full. We shut the engine off, turn the key on, release the brake, we pressurize it, we know it doesn't leak, we know that it warns us when it's low on air, we know this parking brake's going to set. If you have to start over, that's permissible, it's your truck. If you make a mistake, it's you versus the truck, the examiner's just watching. But if you forget to turn the key on or release the brake and you figure it out, just go back and fix it, that's fine. You don't want to do that, but you can. The alarm went off, but they don't care when the alarm goes off, going up. What they want is when the alarm goes on, going down. it in gear, make sure this parking brake's going to hold me. Parking brake's holding me. I'm going to release this brake. I'm going to apply my trailer brake. I'm going to let off. I feel the trailer drag it. The trailer is not going to stop me because the truck is too heavy, but I do feel it pulling, so that's the second part. Now I'm going to do the service brake test. I'm going to roll out 5 miles an hour. As I apply my brake, kind of take the hands off the wheel, make sure it'll pull from the right to the left. We just did the first 3. We did our air brake test, our parking brake test, our service brake test. Lighting indicators, we're going to turn the key back on. ABS light went out. I'm watching my DEF cycle. I've got 4 bars of DEF. Left turn signal, right turn signal. You got to turn your headlights on to make your high beam indicator come on. And I want to make sure make sure my 4-ways work. So all my lighting indicators work. Emergency equipment, got a fire extinguisher stowed, it's securely mounted, the arrow's in the green. I got 3 reflective triangles in here, extra fuses in the drawer. My windshield, I'm going to make sure my windshield is not cracked, it's not broken, no illegal stickers. I'm checking my mirrors to make sure they're not cracked and broken. Properly adjusted, I'm looking in the side of the trailer. The wipers, turn them on, they're not torn, afraid you're not scraping the windshield. Operate properly, making sure I've got bug juice that works. Turn it back off. Heater and defroster. I'm going to put up here on defrost. I'm going to turn it up to the windshield right here. I can feel warm air blowing up here. I didn't put it on as hot as it. I'm not going to put it on full blast hot, but I can feel it's warm. I'm going to put it down on heater. Stick my hand down here, I can feel heat on my feet. So I know my heater and my defroster work. And my horns, electric, air. So we just finished our end cap. Now we're ready to do our external light check. We're going to put our 4-ways on. We're going to put our headlights on and the keys on. Make sure that the brights work. We're going to get out using 3 points of contact. Headlights are working, my 4-ways are working, all my cab lights are working. I'm going to go down through here. 4-way working here. 4-ways, markers, markers. Everything the lights are not working. Markers. 4-ways and markers. I'm going to take the branch on the right-hand side. You don't have to walk back there. As you're going to be the examiner, would you help me check my turn signals and brake lights? Because you're way out here. External light check. You're ready to move the front of the vehicle. Those lenses that we just checked to make sure they work, we're going to double back. Make sure none of the clearance lights are cracked or broken. None of these turn signals here are cracked, broken, or muddy. Headlights are clean, clear, not cracked, broken, or muddy. We had to check to make sure they work, and then we double back to make sure that they're not any damage that we missed the first time through. We'll look to make sure the truck's not leaning to the right or left in case you got a bad suspension and it's not loaded properly. So now we're going to pump it. Okay, we're going to check fluid levels. Coolants between add and full. Power steering between add and full. My oil, I'd pull it out and wipe it clean and check it for proper level. Would you like me to do that? And the examiner will say no. Fluid levels, we're going to check all our hoses, all our fittings, side of the engine and underneath the engine. We're looking to hold the tire area for any leaks, any type of fluid that it's not supposed to be there. Then we're going to listen for air leaks. Could be your seat, could be your suspension. Listen to make sure you don't hear any air leaks. Steering system. Steering system starts with the power steering hoses right here. No abrasions, no bubbles, no cuts. Checking these clamps to make sure they're tight. Takes you to the power steering gearbox, secure the frame and nuts and bolts, no cracks, breaks, or leaks. You're going to check the rest of your steering system are these arms and rods right here. They're not bent or broken or loose. Make sure they're secured with nuts and bolts. Also want to check the joints right here. If you see any shiny metal or daylight, that wouldn't be good, so make sure your joints are all tight. Then we remove the steering axle, the tires. Inflation, I check it with a gauge, wouldn't kick it or hit it. Check the side of the tire for abrasions, bubbles, and cuts. Make sure you got at least 4/30 seconds tread depth. Rim, it's not cracked, welded, or broken. When you check these, it's hard to see behind these lug nuts because these covers, but you want to make sure none of these holes show any signs of abnormal wear, have been elongated or wallered out. Lug nuts, they're all there, none are loose or missing. And check for shiny threads and check the studs to make sure they're not bent or broken. Spring mounts. And we already checked the vehicle to make sure it's not leaning right or left. That's part of your spring system. I got my spring mounts in the front, spring mounts in the rear, secured to nuts and bolts, none are loose or missing, the brackets aren't cracked or broken. Springs are lying flat, not cracked, scissors, broken or missing. Shock absorbers attached top and bottom, nuts and bolts, got liquid in it, so you want to be looking for leaks. And your U-bolts are both there, not cracked, broken, loose, or missing. Brake lines right here. No abrasions, no bubbles, no cuts. I'm going to check the fittings on each end, and I'm going to listen for air leaks. Brake contaminants. I'm going to peek inside. You got a cover on your brake drum there, but you want to look to make sure there's no oil or grease on your brake drum or brake shoe area. Wheel seal, broken, leaking power steering hose, anything, could get oil or grease on it. Make sure that there's no oil or grease. Side of the vehicle. Rings and reflectors. Don't really have any right here on the side of the vehicle, but since you've got a trailer, you're also responsible for these lights for rings and reflectors. So I make sure I got amber in the front, red in the rear. None of those appear to be cracked, broken, loose, or muddy. Monitoring device. A mirror, securely attached top and bottom. Frame's tight, not cracked, broken, or loose. Battery. I can't see my battery because of that cover. If I can see it, I check all connections, make sure they're tight, none of the batteries are loose, no corrosion. Since I got a cover, I'm going to make sure that cover is latched down, not going to come flying off. Fuel tank. Secured frame, nuts and bolts, caps on tight, no leaks. Def tank, same thing. Secured frame, nuts and bolts, caps on tight, no cracks, no breaks, no leaks. Frame. Frame's not cracked, welded, broken, no illegal drill holes. Since you got a trailer, make sure the frame of the trailer is not cracked or broken. Looks like it could support any weight I might have in the cargo. And now we're ready to go do a coupling. Check our electric line right here. It's attached to the truck, clamped in. This whole assembly is secured to the truck with nuts and bolts. Check my electric line, no exposed wires, abrasions, or cuts. Make sure it's attached to my trailer right back here. Follow it all the way till it goes in the trailer. See exposed wires, cuts, or breaks. Pintle hook. Pintle hook, there's no play in it. It's not cracked, it's not broken. It's secured to the truck with nuts and bolts. You can even look over here, check these bolts on this side. Make sure they're all tight. And make sure this little pin right here is in place. Keep your back still in and latch in your trailer. But check your D-ring. It's not cracked. It's not broken. It's not warped. It's secured to the tongue of the trailer, nuts and bolts. Now these bolts are loose or missing. And you can peek around on this side to make sure they're tight. You can see the back sides of them there, barely. Can't see them. And here's my tongue. My tongue is not bent, broken. No retractor broken wells. I'm checking brake cables attached to my trailer and my truck. Not pinched, crimped, or broken. I'm checking my safety chains. They're attached to the trailer right here. Attached to the truck D-ring clevis and D-rings. Make sure no loose or missing links. Not dragging the ground. Also going to check my landing gear. It's up in the raised position. Handle stowed away. This is a neat deal. You can see they added this for us. Just didn't have a handle. So they repaired this just recently. Also, you want to check the clearance right here to make sure if you come around, you got plenty of room to make a right or left-hand turn. But eventually, see somebody's ran into it. But a reasonable, they'll all jackknife at some point in time. But you got plenty of room to make a reasonable turn. Well, let's see here. Reflective tape on the side of the trailer. Reflective tape right here. It's not torn, damaged, or muddy. It's highly visible. Go ahead and go to the rear vehicle. Get this reflector tape back here. That's part of your lighting system. It's not torn, missing, or muddy. And check these lenses back here. They're all secured to them rubber grommets. Not cracked, broken, or missing. Glance down. You don't have to walk up here, but glance down the right-hand side of the trailer. Make sure none of those lights are obviously cracked, broken, or missing. And that reflector tape also. That's it.